So I was in the middle of working on my next script when a video caught my attention. The creator was talking about an argument on Twitter about Deathstroke being a Batman villain. I am never on that site, by the way, except to post my videos. It is a cesspool. But this video brought to my attention that Affleck's Batman story would have involved Deathstroke going up against Batman for revenge due to some kind of shared history. Now, I have always believed in Affleck as an old, scarred, harsher Batman, even when the naysayers were my friends. Shout out to you, Sean. But this is a really bad and, most importantly, boring idea. Deathstroke's portrayals have always frustrated me because the character he was upon his conception by Marv Wolfman was amazing. But for some reason, anyone who picks up the character wants to write him but doesn't really know what to do with him, at least as he is. They always feel the need to change him, once even making him a full-blown anti-hero. Now don't get me wrong, some of these changes have produced really interesting sides to the character. Others have not. The Teen Titans animated series, whatever issues I have with Deathstroke's lack of an ultimate goal, makes him incredibly memorable, and I think this psychologically sinister and manipulative side to him really works as we're seeing him as a very large, imposing, villainous adult from the point of view of teenagers. So it stands to reason that he should be viewed as this scary, immovable, predatory force of nature. But it's not just writers seeming to have new directions for the character that fit the story. They seem to just ignore most of the character and reconstruct him because they seem to not know what to do with him as he is. And as a massive Deathstroke fan, this bugs me. Now, you guys know I'm fully in favour of laying all my biases on the table before I put my position forward, so I feel it's only fair to say I am a bit of a New Teen Titans purist. But even so, it still boggles my mind that writers seem to ignore or not notice what is already there with this character. And I have recently gotten into Star Wars extended media, and I have just finished the Clone Wars TV show. So up until now, I've had trouble explaining how awesome this character is on his own and why he can work if you just let him be himself. Deathstroke is Cad Bane. For those of you who are not into Star Wars, Cad Bane is a bounty hunter introduced in the Clone Wars TV show who is confident, competent, unflappable, and cool. He doesn't have much motivation other than doing his job and getting paid for it. And it works. People adore this character, and the simplistic nature of his motivations doesn't mean we don't get a closer look at him, or see him on the back foot, or see him form relationships with other characters. He also has a similar dry, asshole-ish sense of humour. I saw this character in the first episode he appeared in, and I genuinely said, this is what Deathstroke should be. Anyone who's keeping up with Star Wars will know that he's appeared in the Book of Boba Fett as an enforcer for the Pike Syndicate, and he didn't have to do anything other than walk into town, give a curt, concise warning to stay out of the way, and gun down two people like it was nothing. This is who Deathstroke should be. Why is everyone ignoring this? Why does no one see the potential? Why? Now, onto the issue of writers constantly trying to turn Deathstroke into a Batman villain. Please stop. I have no issue with Deathstroke fighting Batman, but there is a difference between his fighting Batman for a story reason and him being part of the rogues gallery. Now, Deathstroke is the kind of character who can and has fought everyone, not only because he's capable of doing so, but because he's a mercenary, so he has a built-in reason for doing it. Money. Sometimes personal grudges come into play, but Deathstroke is at his best when he's working on cold, hard pragmatism. The reason I don't think he is a good Batman villain specifically is because it's so boring. Batman's villains are mostly psychological in nature and often become twisted dark mirrors of himself. That is the reason Batman has some of the best comics out there. Mr. Freeze is a twisted version of Batman's grief and inability to let go. Two-Face is a twisted version of Batman's view on justice. Joker uses light and laughter to make chaos and pain, whereas Batman uses darkness and pain to produce order and justice. Or at least he tries to. Even the Court of Owls, which I have issues with due to the implications they have not only in the Batman universe but the wider DC universe, are a dark mirror of Batman's wealth and privilege. The most Deathstroke could be a dark mirror of is Batman's physicality, and I guess that could work, but it would mean Big Man Mountain goes after other Man Mountain because revenge. And yes, I very much count Arrow in the trying to turn him into a Batman villain because of how desperately they tried to turn Arrow into Batman. Now I am fully willing to admit this may just be me, but revenge stories of that nature are so boring and incredibly simplistic.
Countless nights dreaming of taking from you all that you took from me.
By killing the woman I love.
Yes.
I much prefer him up against Nightwing because then you get the quite unique setup that the villain is not a dark mirror of the hero, but rather a dark mirror of the hero's father figure. That is one of the things I think the Teen Titans animated series did incredibly well. So yeah guys, sorry this one is so short, but as I said in that community post, I have just finished my latest script and it's closing in on 10,000 words, so it's looking to be a while before it's finished. So I just wanted to post something quick but also really interesting. I want to hear your thoughts about Deathstroke as a Batman villain. Would you like me to rank the portrayals of Deathstroke? Because that's something I've been thinking of doing for a while. Please check out the video that got this thought train going in my head, I've linked it below. And as usual, like and subscribe, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.